So this is the first part of therapy?
Yeah. Brian does it twice a week and helps to work on the range of motion, the supination on my wrist.
Soft tissue mobility.
Soft tissue mobility, flexibility. Yeah, this is the first stage, and then we do a bit of, you'll see next, so it's a blood occultation, is it?
Blood flow restriction.
Blood flow restriction, part of the therapy, and that's pretty cool. We'll see that next.
So how long you got to do the therapy for?
6 weeks, and then I check up with the doctor again, and then he'll have a look and probably just see where it's at, and then probably do some more. Probably come back and do some different.
More. The next phase is going to be more like starting the strengthening part.
Yeah.
And starting to just slowly load up again.
That's what I'm looking for.
Which is going to be something that you have to control quite a bit in the beginning.
Yeah, I guess with the weight loading, right?
How sore were you after the last cell swelling?
Yeah, it was a little bit sore, like for a couple of hours after.
Okay.
But then it wasn't too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad the following day.
So we'll probably do the same thing again today then.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Are there a few people coming here at the moment that also train at cold? There's a girl that had a foot injury.
Mm-hmm.
She came in. I forgot her name. What it is.
I can't tell you that.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, but she said, yeah. She goes, I see you at Goals. She was that lady I thought she had a torn Achilles, but she said no. She just had a foot injury.
The different times of year, do you get more people?
This is a big time for post-surgery because of ski season.
Yeah.
So everyone with the ACLs and things like that from ski season. So we get quite a bit of post-op right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then it depends on the time of year. We're just finishing up baseball guys before they go back to spring training. Football's starting to come in. We got some football guys out there right now. They're just finishing up. It just depends on the time of year.
Yeah, what sports?
The sports, the type of injuries, but...
Yeah. From the beginning of rehab to when they've pretty much made like a full recovery, how long does it maybe normally take? And then do they ever have to come in for more checkups or for rehab?
What type of injury?
Like a maybe
bicep?
Yeah. To say use that for an example.
Well, I'll play off of what Dr. Bambi said.
Oh,
He said,
yeah.
It's going to take closer to 6 months.
Yeah.
To be full.
Yeah.
You're going to be lifting before that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a standard. It doesn't mean that it's going to be just for you.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit before. That could be a little bit after that.
Yeah.
It's more about how your body responds. You have good joints.
Yeah.
Good joints. You have good muscle tissue. That plays in your favor big time.
Yeah.
As long as you follow the protocol.
Yeah.
And we see what you actually feel like versus just following a blind protocol.
Right.
Just adjusting it to you.
Yeah.
You'll be good. And we work with Dr. Banfi very frequently, so it's easy to communicate with him and be like, this is what we're seeing.
Yep.
And you just communicating with us.
Yeah, just time fulfills.
Yeah.
It's about,
like right now, you're supposed to have a little bit of tension. You're supposed to have a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah, it does.
It's not supposed to be super painful though.
No, it's not. Yeah, but you're exactly what you said. It does feel uncomfortable, but it's not unbearable.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you get a special sleeve for the arm that's bigger than usual?
You should use a smaller one, but we got to use the bigger one.
Is that normally for a waist?
Not quite, but it has been used multiple times for different thighs. Let's put it that way.
So you use the leg one on your arm. So what would you use on what would he use on his leg?
On his leg, there'd be a blue one, but we probably have to get a special one for him.
Yeah, special one.
Stretch to the max. Alright, so nice and still.
And what is this thing doing?
So this is calibrating his arm right now so that it's more individualized for him. Alright, so it'll say the different level of pressure after this. This is an individual personalized tourniquet system. It's the only one through Owen Science Recovery. So this blood flow restriction unit basically will make very small amount of weight feel very heavy, and it kind of tricks his body into thinking it's having a bigger pump than it really is. And as a result, he can get more cell swelling inside the muscle since he can't do...
It's metabolic, right?
It's more metabolic swelling.
Metabolic swelling, not mechanical swelling. Did it work?
It did. All right, let's sit up on the chair.
Yep.
I'll start with the putty protocol first.
So now everything's going to feel heavy.
Yeah.
Now, this part won't.
It just gets a...
Go ahead and plug that in.
you'll see my arm changes the colours.
Well, and that's just because they're restricting 50% of the blood flow.
Yeah, it's like a really.
Fortunately, you can't keep the tan. It will go away. You ready?
Yeah, All right.
Again, don't over squeeze.
No.
Again, we're just working on just getting cell swelling. So we'll go 5 minutes on, 1 minute off. We're gonna repeat that 3 different times.
5, 1. Yep.
What's that stuff you're squeezing?
It's just like putty. It's like it feels like plasticine. Remember plasticine? Yeah. It's like Play-Doh for bodybuilders.
Exactly. Except we gotta use the strongest one with you.
Yeah.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, it feels nice.
5 minutes it won't.
No. Right now it feels good, and in 5 minutes it'll feel like.
Does this like help maintain muscle or like?
This is gonna help him maintain as much muscle as possible right now. He can't load up the bicep, but what we can do is by using this machine, this helps him with cell swelling. So it's gonna basically give him like a metabolic load almost. And as a result then, his body thinks it's producing, a pump more. And as a result then, he can keep a little bit more muscle. And there's been actually tons of studies that show that the girth size of the arm and the legs actually improve, or at least stay the same. So.
What would you do for the leg? Because you
For
can't
what?
grip something.
No, for the leg, you could just do quad sets. You could just tighten up your quad muscle because you put it up basically as high up on the groin as possible.
Yeah.
And you can do quad sets. You can do ankle pumps. You
Oh,
can do quite a bit.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever get the surgery and then don't do rehab?
For the bicep,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty, but
What would
I'd say most people do the surgery and have to get the rehab because it's too difficult to get the range of motion back without it.
Yeah.
Let alone the strength,
Yeah,
and then that's when you worry about.
Because it just gets replaced by the scar tissue to do.
Yeah,
rehab.
exactly, and then it isn't as strong.
Yeah.
You want it just as strong.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So you have to do the rehab, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and to keep you in check.
if you want to do it correctly and
Yeah.
be back to normal.
Because how are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
You're not.
Exactly.
You're used to doing one thing. You got 1 more minute.
What's harder, leg day yesterday or this today?
Oh man. Nah. This is more tedious. This is tedious. I think it's just because these hurt particularly because I never train forearms. I never do any forearm exercises. So isolating them, like they burn so fast.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, it's so sore. Burning.
40 seconds.
Yeah. How many sets are those?
That was only one.
Oh, just one?
Yep.
Thought I was in for 3.
Oh no. That's only the putty.
Yeah. Okay. Do I ever have to? Will I end up doing more sets of those ones?
Oh yeah. Eventually, we're gonna switch it from putty to that.
Ah, okay.
So you get more out of it.
Yeah,
But
right.
Right now, we're still
Yeah.
so limited being so early on
Yeah.
that
So that
it'll burn you out.
Yeah, because those 3 sets isn't bad. That 1 set's killer.
Sure,
So then
but,
you'll
but
eventually.
you're also a little bit more fatigued still from
putty.
the putty,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Yeah.
You still got to use that stuff, and it's really the blood flow that fatigues you out.
Right. Yeah. It's when it just gets pumped. It's tight. You can't even.
Exactly.
Do
It's
it.
like you already went through a full workout.
Yeah.
You're completely pumped up, and now they're asking you to,
Yeah.
you're going to do more weight.
Yeah.
Does this stretch out the tendon a lot?
No, it doesn't really stretch. I think it's just another pumping this muscle.
Yeah,
Just
we're
does
not
diff-
working the bicep
working
at all.
a different muscle.
We're
This is
working.
just-
We're working the
Flexor.
wrist flexors, but since he doesn't have full supination yet, he can't do it the typical way.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so
this
don't-
is the way to
Lay
do
down.
it.
Yeah.
By kind of changing up the body position, you can give your body the ability to get into a supinated position and get those wrist flexors. So,
Yeah.
Otherwise, they just wouldn't be used at all, right? They'd just be kind of.
Not really.
no, you wouldn't be able to use
use
it
them
because
at all.
just because you don't have the full supination to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This is the only time I get.
this way we can get both
exercise.
sides, extensors and flexors, and
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
you
Both
get,
sides.
get the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Plus, he needs a little bit more flexor anyways. He's a little bit imbalanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
From all the. So if I was to do. Yeah, because a lot of the time it's overgrip, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if I consciously started doing a lot more undergrip, like my exercise using an undergrip, would that
Possibly, but
change it?
it's more of being aware of where your wrist position is.
Wrist position.
Because if it's going to be more neutral or not.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the time, you're gonna be stronger in extension a lot of the times. So
Yeah.
you're naturally gonna bring your wrist into extension, especially when you get pretty heavy with certain exercises.
Right. Yeah.
And you'll see it with guys that bench. Sometimes you'll see them fall into wrist extension.
Yeah.
Too much wrist extension.
Too much looks.
And that's where they get in trouble.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
The last step of the process.
Yeah, this is the last stage. 15 minutes of ice. Yeah, after all those the rehab exercises, this ice helps to get rid of any inflammation or swelling, I think. It's nice, it feels really nice.
Nice and cold.
Yeah. Yeah. And then get some food in me.
So fucking creep.